I cheated, and my husband refuses to divorce me. I'm a wife who cheated on her husband, and he eventually found out. We don't have any kids together, so that should have made things simpler, right? But it hasn't. I admitted my mistake, owned up to everything, and asked him if we could go our separate ways. We ended up separating for 2 years, and during that entire time, I kept asking him to sign the divorce papers. I just couldn't continue in the marriage, burdened by the weight of my guilt and everything that happened. But despite everything, he refused. Instead, he would say things like, "No one else will want you, no one else will look after you like I do." He'd add that I wouldn't stay attractive forever, as if that should scare me into staying. He insisted that I should stick to this marriage and give it another chance. Here's the kicker. He knew I was seeing the man I had cheated with during our separation. He was fully aware of it, but he still kept telling me that the marriage wasn't over and that we could work things out. I kept telling him that the marriage was beyond repair, that what I did had fundamentally changed me, and that I couldn't go back. But his response was always the same. "I love you too much to let go, and I want to give us another try." It was almost as if he wasn't hearing me at all. I even confessed that this wasn't the first time I had cheated, that it had happened before, thinking that would push him to see reason. But instead, all he said was, "Thank you for being honest. I don't care how many men you've been with during our marriage, as long as it's over now." His reaction left me stunned, speechless even, and made me feel incredibly small. He didn't even get angry when I told him that he didn't make me feel safe, and that someone else did. Now seems like a good time to mention that I had been in a financially abusive relationship with him for a decade. A whole 10 years. I paid all the bills, every single one. Even though he had a salary coming in and his savings were untouched. He constantly reminded me that I had no money, no financial independence, and that, as his wife, it was my duty to help him out. And I did. I did everything I could, but eventually, the desire to be with someone who made me feel secure resurfaced. I own the apartment we live in, the car we drive, and I've made some basic investments for our future. All of it was done with the intention of creating a stable life, but now, it all feels like a burden. When he came back after our separation, I was very clear that things would take time. Even though I had withdrawn the divorce papers, I needed space to figure things out. His first response, though, was, "When can I tell my landlady that I'm moving out so I don't have to pay rent?" That should have been a red flag, but I guess I was so focused on the idea of a forgiving partner, a man who was willing to work things out, that I missed the signs. His fixation on avoiding rent, using my car, and benefiting from my financial security got buried under all the emotional chaos. He moved back in with nothing but a mattress and asked me if I could pay for a bed. And I did, all the while thinking that maybe I should focus on the fact that he forgave me, not on the money. Then came the conversations about finances. He started asking how much I had saved, what was in my accounts, and what assets were in my name. And that's when the alarm bells really started ringing. Now I'm terrified that the real reason he came back was for the financial security I provide, not because he truly wants to be with me. I've told him repeatedly that our marriage isn't going to work, that it's broken beyond repair. But whenever I bring it up, he just throws the name of my lover in my face, even in front of my father, especially when I ask him to stop making me pay for everything. Am I being naive? Am I foolish to think that I can move on and that he should do the same while he seems intent on staying in this marriage, either for me or for the financial safety net I've created? Sometimes I wonder if I'm just fooling myself, trying to justify my mistakes while he's simply holding on for reasons that have nothing to do with love. Edit. For everyone who's commented, called me names, and said I deserved this, thank you. Yes, I checked out of this marriage years ago. I separated, but was told over and over that I wouldn't be a good woman if I got divorced. I asked him for a divorce 3 times before anything even happened with another man. He told me that I needed to get my hormones checked. I kept second-guessing myself, thinking maybe I already had a good man, so what if I had to buy his affection? I even told him I had thoughts of suicide, that I was at my breaking point, and he just said I needed to find more friends. No, running into another man's arms wasn't my first choice. I was told I only looked good when he picked out my clothes or makeup, that no one was being honest when they said I was pretty. I was told I was fat and needed to dress accordingly. I begged, I pleaded, but every time I was told we were the perfect couple and that I was just greedy for more money, all while being made to pay for everything. I don't think what I did was right. I own that, but I wanted out and he told me I'd be alone for the rest of my life.